Hello, my lovely, beautiful people. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Christina, aka Northwest Reader, and if you're new here, welcome and thank you for subscribing. I saw that I got a few new subscribers. I really appreciate it so much. I'm now over 100, so thank you. I figured this video, I haven't done a reading vlog doing the 3 horror thing because I only did 1 edition, which I will link here and there. But yeah, this is a 2nd edition to reading 3 horror novels / stories and vlogging about it, my experience with it. One of them is an arc that comes out February 26th, I believe. I keep thinking 27th or 26th. I'm pretty sure it's 26th. Another one came out in October last year, and this other one I have an actual physical copy of. I think that came out more recently. The 2 ebooks that I'm gonna read for this video is Shelter for the Damned by Mike Thorne. The author contacted me asking if I would review his book for an honest review, so I said yes. This is the one that comes out the end of February. Yeah, I already started this a few days ago, but it is about these 3 boys who are in high school. It takes place in 2003, which is the year I graduated from high school, so I'm excited and I can relate. But the 3 boys, they go into the woods and they find a rundown shack, and they just want to find a place where they can just hang out, smoke cigarettes, just chill, you know, what teenagers do. But then the one boy, he is like weirdly attracted to this place. The house has this weird pull on the one boy. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like on chapter 6. I'm still in the way beginning, but it's pretty good so far. So thank you, Mike, for this e-copy, and I can't wait to share my thoughts. And obviously this video is going to have some spoilers, so if I start sharing any type of spoilery content, I will put it up on the screen. Spoiler alert, so you can just skip ahead or do whatever you want. The 2nd book, I don't remember if he contacted me or if I contacted him, but he also gave me a digital copy of his book for an honest review, so thank you so much. The cover isn't with this, so I'll put it up. It's Anoka by Shane Hawk. I actually messaged him on Twitter asking how to pronounce it, and he told me yes, it's Anoka, and it's a small city in Minnesota. Originally, Dakota language had it as Anoka Tanhan, which meant on both sides of the river, and the town sits on the Rum River, which this is probably all explained in the book at some point, or different short stories. It's an anthology, I forgot to mention. It's a collection of indigenous horror. That's pretty helpful, thank you. He recently got engaged, I saw, so congratulations again, Mr. Shane Hawk, for your recent engagement. That's exciting. So the book is fairly short. It just goes over 100 pages, I believe, and it came out in October last year, from what I saw on like Amazon and Goodreads and stuff. But I'm excited to read it. I don't think I've read any indigenous horror whatsoever, so this is exciting. It's just a collection of short horror stories, so I'm pumped for it. And then this book I have a physical copy for because I love the copy. I love the cover, so I ordered a physical copy of it, and it's also really short. But everyone's been talking about it on social media. They're saying like, oh my goodness, it's the most messed up thing I've ever read. There's so many trigger warnings, blah, 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 blah. And I've read some really messed up stuff this last few months. 2nd half of last year, which is, yeah. So I was curious to see if it would be as traumatizing, or as, not traumatizing, that's terrible to say, as disgusting in WTF, but it is Chandler Morrison's Dead Inside. Everyone is like, brace yourself, a lot happens, and it's crazy. And I guess there's some bug stuff, spider stuff. That's literally all I know about it. So I'm excited to get into it. We'll see what I think about it, because I've read some what the heck, like The Resurrectionist, which was for my last reading 3 horror novels. So we'll see how this holds up to that. Anyways, but yeah, those are my 3 books. I think a lot of them are going to be 4 and 5 star. I don't know what yet. Like this is the one where I'm the most iffy about, where I don't know, because it's so hyped, and that happens to me where I'm like, I go in with this crazy expectation, and then I'm reading it and I'm like, that's what happened with Pretty Girls. Like, Pretty Girls was messed up by Karen Slaughter, but I was like, it was okay, and it wasn't like the most terrifying. It had messed up parts, but it wasn't to where I'm like, oh man, thinking about it, because it was just so messed up. I just hope it does what it has been doing to other people to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go. My baby is napping right now, so I'm gonna take advantage of this, and I'm gonna go lay down in bed. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go lay down. I'm gonna read and enjoy my quiet time and try to get as much of this read as possible. Now that I have the actual Kindle version, not the PDF, I should be able to get through it a lot faster than I have been. So thank you, Mike, for sending me the Kindle version. You saved me. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys later when I have a reading update. Bye. Hello. Reading update. It's the next day. I'm in a Christmas sweater. No shame in my game. Anyways, I was able to read a decent amount yesterday. I'm about 55%. Stuff is happening. And really, it's not too gory or anything like that so far. There have been moments of violence, of course, and stuff like that, but the story's moving along. I was wondering, because for a good chunk of it, the shack really wasn't, I mean, it was brought up, but not too often. Like, nothing was really happening with it. So I was like, what's gonna happen? And then things have been happening, and holy moly, I don't know where this is going. I have speculation of a possibility of what's happening, but right now I don't know for sure if I'm correct. But it's good so far. I'm really enjoying it. Ideally, I would love to finish it today, but it's so hard to know when you're able to read when you have a 1-year-old who is like going through a sleep regression, it seems like every other day, or he'll be fine for 3 days and then terrible for a week. So who knows? It's a miracle I read as much as I did yesterday, because I rely so much on reading after he goes to bed at night and then having free time. And it seems like every other day we will sit out on our back porch by the fire, and then I'm able to get like a good 3 hours into reading. But last night we just put on a movie that we've seen a million times, the Thor whatever movie, and I was able to read during that, and then I went to bed at a decent hour and was able to read in bed. So I got a decent amount, so I'm happy with that. And baby slept amazing yesterday with his naps, so thank you. But yes, I am liking it. I really am excited to see where it goes, because I don't know where it's gonna go. It's not predictable whatsoever, which I appreciate. My goal today is, like, obviously just personal stuff, just clean as always. I did a lot of cleaning this morning, and then read. I'm gonna read as much as I can. I'm resisting trying to start any of the other 2 books. Anyways, this is my update. I will let you know further on what happens. Oh, I posted my first TikTok. That was fun. I'm trying to think of other videos, other TikToks that I could possibly try to do. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. Like currently reading or something. But I don't want to completely spoil this video, so I don't really want to post that. But I kind of want to post about this book, the Mike Thorne book. I don't know. I'm rambling. And yeah, that's my update for now. Until next time, hopefully I can read. Hopefully. Okay. Hello. Surprise.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, it's not a surprise.
My hair is wet. I just took a shower and put on my favorite sweater again, sweatshirt. I just got done. My son is napping. Probably gonna wake up either in the next 10 minutes or in an hour. So who knows? But I'm gonna like Tucker. I'm gonna get comfortable on my couch and I want to continue reading. And I'm excited. I wanted to say I recommend you read Shelter for the Damned. I would suggest listening to late 90s, early 2000s rock metal music. Yeah, I've been listening to that because I love listening to music while I read, especially with ebooks for some reason. But yeah, I love listening to music while reading, and it sets the mood and the tone, and it adds a whole other layer to the experience of reading a book. So I was listening to like A Perfect Circle, Godsmack, Stained, like all the bands that I loved in high school, and it fits this time frame perfectly because it's the same era. It adds so much to it, like even more to it rather. So yeah, I would suggest that if you like that type of music. If not, don't bother, of course. But I'm gonna continue on. I'm at 62%, and hopefully by the end of the night I'll be able to finish this and move on to the next book, which I don't know yet which one that will be. Here we go. Hello, it's the next day. It is Wednesday. Date, I don't know. 27th or something? Yeah, 27th, good guess. I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to yesterday. I wanted to finish the book, but I just wasn't able to. Like right after I sat down to read, when baby was asleep, he woke up. So I was doing that. And then we ended up not having a fire last night. We stayed inside trying to catch up on some shows that we have been trying to watch, and just barely read, and I read a little bit last night. So I just had lunch with baby, and I think he is going to sleep. So I am going to sit down and read uninterrupted. We'll see. I might even sit outside and read because the sun is out now, and granted it's cold and stuff. It was supposed to snow early this morning, but I don't see any sign of that, so I don't know. But I just need some quiet time. Like when my baby napped, he napped this morning, and so I fell asleep and I had the most awful dream. And I don't think it's related to the book, but there are elements that are similar, like some characters, some themes in the book kind of dreamt about, but it's hard to say if the book is what caused it, because because in the book there's an alcoholic dad who's abusive and stuff, and like my dad has a drinking problem, but he was never abusive towards me, ever, not at all. But I had an alcoholic mother also, who, I mean, she wasn't really abusive to me, just neglectful. So I'll dream about that sometimes. So having these type of dreams isn't anything like shocking or new, but I dreamt about my dad drinking like liquor and stuff, which he does not do. He's a beer drinker. So it just was like, what is going on in my dream? And just like it did not feel great to just dream about it. And at the end of my dream, I was just bawling in my dream, just like crying so hard, not knowing what to do, because other things were happening in the dream. So then I like woke up and now I'm like in this weird headspace. Yeah, fun times. I love childhood traumas. It's fun. I'm going to go outside, I think, and read after I'm 100% sure my baby is sleeping. And I guess I can take you along with me, maybe? We'll see. But yeah. So I didn't go outside and like read out in the sun or anything. I did the complete opposite and laid in bed, listened to music, and finished Shelter for the Damned. And I'm gonna need some time for this to sink in, I guess. The last 15% of the book is like a fever dream, and it is a lot. Spoiler alert. You really don't know. I had no idea what was happening pretty much the whole time. At the end, it was so wild. Like to the point where I want to reread it, because the closer to the ending I got, the more like, oh, I need to know what's gonna happen. So I was reading super fast. Like I was reading it, but I was reading like just really quickly and not really taking in what was happening. And I'm gonna reread it and go through it again because homie was going through it. And I think it's just, he had, I don't even know. And then like you think, oh, this is what's happening, but then the very end you get thrown for a loop a little bit. Like, okay, spoiler alert. I think the whole time as a reader you're assuming, oh, Mark is having a mental breakdown and all this stuff, and he's killing because he thinks this house, the shelter, is wanting him to kill, and really he's the one. I mean, he obviously is the one killing, but it's just him killing, not this shelter. And then like the trippy part at the end, you think like he's hit his pivotal, like complete mental breakdown. It's like, it's just so crazy. And then at the very end, you find out that the shelter is empty because Madeline's mom follows him into the woods where the shelter is, and it's empty. So that leads you to wonder, was this all actually happening and it's not just him having a complete mental breakdown, even though I still feel like that's what it was. But I don't even know. I'm just like I just finished it. So I'm still absorbing, going through it. It's such, like, once he starts having his episode, if you will, towards the end, it's like so different than the beginning that it kind of threw me somewhat, in a good way, because now I'm just, I'm thinking about it still. I'm not just reading it as like, oh, this is what happened, the end. Like, it's actually making me put more thought into it and making me want to reread the last part of it again, to just look at clues and stuff of what was actually happening. And it's just super trippy. Wow. That was way trippier than I was expecting. Good job, Mike. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Whoa, my brain is just like, yeah, that's how my brain is right now. I'm just, so to switch things up, because my other book, I have another ebook I want to read, Anoka, and Dead Inside. So since I have Dead Inside as a physical book, I'm gonna switch to this next. I'm probably not gonna pick this up until tonight because I need time to process what I just read with the other book. But yeah, I don't know anything about this. I just know that there's bugs, obviously, spiders, something about security guard, and like weird dead stuff, I think. I don't know. But yeah. So one book down, 2 more to go. Oh girl, I need to process some things. Hello, Hello, update. So, let's discuss a little bit of Dead Inside, shall we? I started this last night and it was pretty much going the route I was expecting. But while I was reading it, I only got like 10% in, I think. I got to page 23. That's what it is. Okay, so Dead Inside. It's about this security guard who works at a hospital and he works the night shift and he does things. During the first 20 pages, he mentions a certain part of the hospital multiple times, like 2 times. And I had this gut feeling, oh God, it's gonna go that route. I don't really want to read about it, but let me ask my friends online who've read this book and see if that's the route he's gonna go. And sure enough, he goes down that path, and I'm not down with that. I can't read stuff like that whatsoever. Like, I can read messed up stuff for sure, but this, I can't. You win. So I DNF'd. My first DNF of this year. But I'm happy that I knew of people who've read this and were able to tell me, like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, because it would have wrecked me, I feel, or it would have really disturbed me, because I don't like that type of stuff. But let's discuss. If you don't want to know anything about this, skip ahead. I'm gonna put spoiler up the whole time I'm talking about it. So yeah, if you're watching this and you get mad, I'm spoiling it. So the parts that I did read. So spoiler alert. Anyways, he's into necrophilia, which, okay, I've read about necrophilia before. Not a big deal. It is a big deal, but it doesn't disturb me as much, weirdly. In the very beginning, like, you go through, the one line though was really funny, which I can appreciate. I forget where it was at, but he's like, consider this your trigger warning. Yes, that is, like, this whole entire book is a trigger warning. So he engages with this female who is deceased, and it's described like you would imagine. But then in the parts that stood out to me was he works at a hospital, and he mentioned the maternity ward a couple times. And I was thinking, oh gosh, please don't do what I think you're gonna do with deceased little ones, because I can't even handle deceased kids in books. None of that. Like, it bothers me. And I don't know if it's because I'm a mom to a little boy, or the fact that I worked at a funeral home and worked little kid funeral services and baby funeral services. So I've seen the grief and the emotions behind all that. So I don't know if I'm just connecting that, but there's no way I can read that. None whatsoever. I don't want any detail. So my friend said, like, yeah, he does. It's really twisted. It's, like, messed up. So I'm dodging this bullet. And I'm so disappointed, because I want to know, like, how it ends and stuff. So I'm probably going to ask my friends, like, how it ends, because I am curious about the book, but I don't want to even go around that. For me, like, it's just not for me. Like, if you're able to read it, good on you. Like, I just can't. It's not. Nope. So yeah, I had a couple of people say, like, I don't think you're gonna like it, or I don't know if you're gonna be able to read it. You're right. You're very right. This is not for me. This is for other people for sure, because I can't deal. So if you really want a super messed up book to read, this is probably for you. Yeah, obviously trigger warnings and stuff like that. Like, I'm not shaming the author or anything like that, or the book even. It's just not my jam. Thank you to my friends for telling me, like, yeah, this is what's happening, because I needed that warning. Yeah. Touche, Chandler Morrison. Touche. Hello. Little mini update. I didn't really read a whole lot today. I did listen to an audiobook throughout the day, but that's about it. But tonight we are going to be by our pellet fire and relax and just read, which I've been wanting to do for a few days now and we just haven't. So since Dead Inside is dead now, start reading Anoka, a collection of indigenous horror by Shane Hawk. Yeah, the copy that I have on my Kindle doesn't have the cover, so I will put it here. I am super excited to read it, and yeah, I'm hoping that I have more luck with this one than I did with Dead Inside, but I'm hopeful. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this, so yep, that's the plan for tonight. Anyways, husband is putting our kid to bed, so I'm gonna wait for him, and then we're gonna go outside and we are gonna relax and read. Hello, I just got out of the shower, so don't mind my washedness. Last night I read Anoka. I didn't finish it. I'm like halfway through. I'm at like the 40-page mark, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's super creepy. I've read 2 stories so far, I believe, from what I can remember. Yeah, I've read 2 stories so far. The very first story kind of threw me. Like I don't know why I was so caught off guard by it's like magical realism almost. Not really, but kinda. It's not set in reality, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know why it like caught me off guard so much, but it did, because it's the shortest one I read so far, and I was like, wait, what? Like I read it and I hit the end and I was like, wait, what? So I had to like go over it, and then but I went through again and I really enjoyed it. It just went a route I wasn't expecting, I guess. I don't know, but I'm kind of happy the book starts with like a super short story that's kind of like that style, because then I was like, oh, okay, I knew it was horror and stuff like that, but I wasn't sure exactly what it entailed, because I never read anything from Shane Hawk before in his style. And then like also in the very, very beginning, he just explains more of like how to read the book and like the background to each story. The references kind of is in the back of the book, so you can read the story and then go back, or read the whole entire book and then read this stuff in the back. So I was reading the back portion, which actually really helped, especially with the first one, because I was just like, whoa, what? Yeah, and then like in the very beginning, he describes just like his history and just different tribes in the area of Minnesota, I believe, and just all the different things, and like racial slurs and all that stuff. Like it's very, I don't want to say history based, but it gives you history about this town, Anoka, and like his thoughts on it, and a little bit of the research and his family history and stuff like that, like all that type of stuff. And so then when you jump into the short stories, when it gets a little magical and very fantastical almost, it just threw me for some reason. I was like, whoa, wait, because I thought it was just going to be like a little bit of like maybe monsters or something. I don't know. But it threw me off so much. But once I like realized, oh, this is like a different vibe, obviously, like duh. But for some reason I just continued with thinking it was going to be more like the very beginning when he's describing everything. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but there's nothing wrong with that. I like that the first story, like it caught my attention because it just threw me. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm gonna probably finish it today, and then I can wrap up this reading vlog. I realized it's January 30th right now, so I don't want to start a book, another book for this reading vlog. I just want to finish it up. So I'll just have like the 2 books I read and then the one that's a DNF. So, and then next month is Women in Horror. Anyway, so that's like my mini update. And hopefully next time you see me, I will have Anoka done. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'll update later. Okay, bye. You'll probably hear my husband in the background. He's working. He's on the phone. Happy February 1st, and I am going to wrap up this reading vlog. I finished Anoka yesterday, last night, and my weekend was super busy. It cracks me up because it's like the shortest book that I had to read. I could not find time to just pick it up and read it because I was just getting interrupted or having to go somewhere. But I really enjoyed Anoka. I thought it was pretty good. My favorite story in it is Imitate, because just the opening sequence, I believe it's in the very beginning, but the sequence where he's tucking his son in bed, or he goes in there to check on his son, so creepy. So creepy. It like gave me chills, like feeling, you know, of just a scary moment. But oh my goodness, it was good. So my final rankings or ratings, Shelter for the Damned, I gave 4 stars. I thought it was really good. It was unique, and I reread the like trippy ending part. And yeah, I'm happy I reread it because I picked up more cues of what was actually happening, and it was super enjoyable. It was creepy. I liked the era that it was taking place because it's my generation, so it was very enjoyable. I look forward to reading more from Mike Thorne. I love his writing style. I thought it was good. It was a solid horror novel in my opinion, and it was more along the realms of like, it reminded me of like a Stephen King or something like that, where it's just so psychological and in the main character's head, than opposed to like what was happening on the outside, which there was external things happening for sure, but it was so psychological and just way more mental horror than just the physical aspect, if that makes sense. So then the second book I started to read but ended up DNFing is Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison. Like, I read the beginning part, like about 20 pages in, and I could see where the story was going, like I mentioned earlier, and I just didn't feel super comfortable reading it. I knew it would just not be, it's not something I want to read. And no shame on anyone who likes to read that type of stuff or anything like that, or even the writer. Like, it wasn't for me personally, and so I didn't rate it. I didn't really write a review other than I just stating like, oh, it wasn't for me. The writing style, like he's a really good writer. I enjoyed the writing of it. In like the beginning portion, it's messed up, but I've read weirdly similar things before, so it wasn't completely shocking to me. But yeah, it was super easy to read, digestible and stuff like that. I could see how people would enjoy the book and stuff, and I look forward to seeing what else he has out there. I don't know if he has any other books, but like this was just a little, I found my limit, or where I am not comfortable at, because I've read some messed up stuff, but I think this was up there. And I just asked friends, like I said earlier, like what happens. So I still wanted to know what happened in the story. I just didn't want to read the details of it. It just wasn't for me. But Anoka was really good. It's an Own Voices book of short stories, and it was beautifully written. Oh my goodness. Shane Hawk is the author, and it was just so beautifully written. I don't know how to describe it. I thought because I've been reading a lot of things recently where it's like, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. But how he writes, I want to say it's poetic, but it felt almost poetic, if that makes any sense. It was just beautifully written. And for all the crazy stuff that was happening and the messed up stuff that was happening, it was just, I don't know, it was just beautifully written. Like a person vomiting and stuff, and you're just like, wow, this is prose. You know, I'm a little weird about it, but I gave it 4 stars. Anthologies, I like, it's hard to get a complete 5-star anthology in my opinion, because different stories just hit you differently. And again, like Imitate was my favorite by far. Each one was definitely unique, and I really am appreciative, and I think it's a smart idea to have at the end of the book explaining the different stories and why he wrote them and what they mean, essentially, because like even in the first story I mentioned, like I kind of knew what was happening, but at the same time it was so magical almost, or I don't know how to describe it, but it was just, I figured I knew what was happening, but not 100%. So at the end of the book, where he describes a little blip of what he meant for it to mean and stuff like that, then it clicked and it made more sense to me. So I really appreciated the end portions a lot, and it added more depth to the stories. And it was good. It was really good. So yeah, this is the end of my reading vlog. I need to get this up and going. This coming month in February, I'm going to try to read all women horror and hopefully black women of horror also, which I got a few last night. I've researched and I can't wait to get into it. And yeah, that's about it. I am really happy with the 3 books that I came across. Each one, I learned a little bit of something about my reading style and what I like and dislike. So I always appreciate that. And I'm always willing to expand my reading taste in just figuring out who I am as a reader, especially in the horror genre, which I'm still learning about. So yeah, if you made it to this point, thank you for watching, and I look forward to doing one of these again. I don't know if I should do one of these for next month and just pick 3 random women of horror books to do. I don't know, I'm not sure, but again, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.